my name is Eszter and I'm from Hungary. I recently completed my bachelor in business administration and management, and now I'm in the process of applying for master in international management. So that's why I decided to take GMAT in the end of August, I think. So the first 2-3 weeks of my preparation, I just basically familiarized myself with the structure of the exam and what kind of questions it had, using the free resources online. And I completed a mock test where I scored 625. I think that's actually a good score for a first try, but the whole experience for me was, well, it was not really that great. So I had a very bad time management and I had to rush through a lot of the questions. I think I couldn't even finish maybe the quant section. So I realized that it really is difficult and I need a good preparation in order to achieve my target score. So I talked with one of my friends who completed his GMAT last year and he achieved a very amazing score. He recommended me TTP and he explained me why he thinks it was basically crucial for him in achieving such a great score. And I also read some reviews online and I decided to go with TTP. I used the flexible preparation, I think for 6-7 weeks altogether. And in the end, I averaged around 3-4 hours per day. I think the TTP course is super efficient in improving all the three areas, like the quant, the verbal, and the data inside of your score. So I think the structure the structure itself was very helpful for me, because you start with the basics and then you work your way all the way through the more difficult concepts. And you not just get theory, but you get tons of practice questions and practice tests and review tests and chapter tests and everything. So the course really makes sure that you not just know the theory, but you can apply the concepts in the real situation when you have to solve a problem. So that was very important for me, because my preparation was my preparation time is a bit short, so I had to go pretty fast through the chapters and everything. So it was very important for me not just rushing through the chapters, but really understand what the concept is about, and also being able to apply those concepts in answering questions. The other thing that I would like to highlight was that it was timed from the beginning. So even the first practice questions, you can see how much time you spent on them, and also the average time, so you can compare your basically results with others, and that was very helpful for me. And the whole really the program just kept me motivated, because you can see your progress, and you can see also a lot of statistics about what are your weak areas, where you can improve, what's your accuracy and everything. So that was a huge motivational factor for me, because I always wanted to improve some KPIs or some measurements, and basically just move through the course little by little. Honestly, the course itself was just made my whole preparation easy, or if I can say that, because from the first moment I knew that, okay, so here are, 40 quant chapters, and some other chapters as well from verbal and data insights, and you actually have to do all of them. And the course, they highlight you in the course that you have to follow, that you should follow the outline of the course to have for the greatest efficiency. And that's what I did. I always knew that, okay, I always knew what the next step would be. And I knew that they do this way for a reason, because it helped so many other students improve their score. So it must be helpful for me as well. So it was a good feeling that I didn't have to look for other preparation materials, read books, or I don't know, but you actually just, even if you have 1 hour a day, you can just sit down and do the next little step in the whole process, and you can make progress little by little. So that was also motivational and made the whole preparation easy for me. So after completing the whole TTP course, yes, they actually, that's called the study phase, and then you have the practice test phase, and TTP suggests you to not rush through the practice test phase, because it's very important that you apply everything that you learned in the practice exam setting as well. Well, for me, that was maybe the problem, that I didn't follow that at first, because I had a very short deadline for some of the programs. So I actually did my first exam, GMAT exam, maybe like 10 days after I completed the study phase for TTP, and I think after 3 practice exams, and I got a 655. And even though that's a good score, I think I knew I could do better, because actually all my practice exam scores were significantly better. So not just by 10 or 20 points, but like 40 at least. And also I kind of had a bit of a similar experience than with the first mock test that I did, that I messed up the time management, because they also provide you with a lot of tips for not just the exam, but also how to study and things like that, but also for the exam itself. And one of the major rules is that you have to learn that if you cannot solve a problem in a minute or something like that, you have to skip it, so that you don't fall behind. And even though I could do that in the practice exams, somehow, probably because of the stress that I felt during the exam day, somehow I couldn't do that in the real exam. And that happened. I felt behind, and I could finish, but I had to rush through some of those questions that I know I could have done if it was not like 30 minutes for a question. So the 655 score actually, for the verbal and the data inside, I did basically the way I achieved the scores that I usually achieved on the practice test, but the quant section was much worse. So I was not satisfied with it, and because I had better scores for the practice exams, and because I knew what I did wrong, I actually decided to try once more. And then I paid a lot of attention to my time management skills, and I did a lot more practice tests. I actually, between my first and second try for the GMAT, I didn't really had to study the concepts once more, because the concepts were there. So it was that was not the problem, that I didn't have the concepts in mind or I couldn't apply them. But somehow my time management and my stress management, basically, that was the problem. So I did a lot more practice tests, and I paid attention to the time management. And after each and every practice test, I took the time to reflect on how the practice test itself went, and not just what kind of questions I got wrong, but how I could manage my time and if I had to rush through any questions or things like that. And finally, the work, after the long time of hardworking and studying, I saw the results because I achieved 705 at my second try on GMAT, and with that I was very happy. So altogether, what I would highlight is that the GMAT preparation is very difficult, I think, and most of the people who prepare for GMAT, they do a lot of other stuff besides it. They go to school, they work there and everything. So you really need to be efficient in the time that you have for preparing GMAT. And TTP was great for me in that way, that I did not have to think about how I can or what my next step should be. I just followed the chapters and followed the course that they outlined for me, and so it really made my preparation so much easier. So I think that was the main advantage that I had from TTP, but really the whole experience itself, even though I had to try 2 times, was a great fun for me, and I really appreciate the target test prep because it was crucial. It was really essential in achieving that 705. Thank you.